Hey,
Hey y'all,
everybody. It's good to see each and every one of
welcome
y'all.
in. Thank y'all for coming.
Got a pretty cool little show coming up tonight, and good to see y'all for the first time in 2 weeks, I guess it's been.
Yeah, a busy 2 weeks.
A very busy 2 weeks learning and all that good stuff. Doctor appointment after doctor appointment. And give y'all an update on all that good stuff here in a little bit. We're going to let a few people come in and say thank you to the Roses for coming in and dropping the links. We really appreciate her.
Thank you.
And the folks at home, thank y'all for watching. And Miss Janet, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. It's always good to see
Hey,
you.
thank you for all the support. And thank you for showing up.
Welcome to everyone. So,
even the ones at home that cannot comment, thank you for watching.
We got some little bit to go over. We got updates. We have, of course, we have our topic. We have a new thing of material that we can kind of add into these streams, and something cool coming up. So, says I miss your chats a lot. Save laundry all day to fold and listen. That's the best time to do it. We always love to see everybody, and like I said, the last 2 weeks has been utter hecticness, but it's been necessary and life-changing, absolutely life-changing, especially for Hope. So, got some really cool stuff planned for later in the week. Like I said, we have some more material that we can start adding to the stream where we're not just doing cryptids and tonight's story again and just neat stuff. I always look forward to seeing everybody. And of course, right now it is raining like crazy, storm coming through, and a lot going on in the last 30 minutes. I had taken something to the mailbox and brought mail back, and I was doing a recording for my channel, and while I was out there I looked up and the sky started turning awful black, and then all of a sudden I heard two bangs and a bunch of tires screeching. So I run down to the edge of the road and seen there was a pretty rough little car accident that happened, and luckily, there was a sheriff deputy from another county coming over the hill, so he had help down there within 2 minutes, like ambulances and fire trucks and everything. When then he went on, but hopefully everybody's all right with that. And but today's little topic is on the Hopkinsville goblins. So we got that to look forward to, and then Hopes. Everything's been going beyond fantastic with her. The pump that she had, man, I mean, it makes so much difference, don't it?
It does.
She doesn't have to get. She doesn't get 4 shots a day anymore. She doesn't poke her finger unless maybe there's super low. Welcome in, Timmy. Good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. Welcome to you. But as far as, having to sit here and add up all this math to do with her shots, we don't have to do that anymore. She's been doing great. We've only had one little incident with the pump. Her and Autumn was playing water balloons at Dad's while I was getting a little work done, and her pump fell off because they didn't supply enough of the little patches, and we're having to use the IV tape right now to hold it on till we get some more on. But it was just that one. But it's so amazing. Her sugar is staying so much better in range now. When she eats her meal, you know, it might go up a little, but it doesn't go near as high as it was. And it does not stay there at all like it was. You know, before the pump, she was sitting at 250, 300 for hours, and then it would come down. Now, she may be there at that 250, 300 for maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then it's already coming back down. So,
Yeah.
it's already life changing to her. Like I said, she's not taking 4 shots a day like she was doing. Sometimes she'd have to have more. It's easier on us because of all the math and everything, and we're still having a little bit of trouble with her. The Dexcom people, we can't use Autumn's phone. I'm sure that helps her. It does help her feel better. Helps her feel a lot better, I'm sure. But because her sugar's not roller coastering and everything, it's a gradual, you know. And we noticed sometimes that when it would just dynamite up and then dynamite down, it'd make her just feel lousy. But now we have an option to where when she wants to go play, her sugar won't dynamite anymore. We can literally adjust her pump to where it's not giving her as much. And the Dexcom itself is working fine. Okay, that's not the issue. It's not the equipment, it's all the technology that goes with it.
Well, I can get it on my phone, but
their Dexcom G7 app will not come up in her Play Store. It'll come up in mine. Trying to set up an account, I couldn't. It would not. It just kept saying something about an error. So I'm going to have to call them and see if they can help us with it.
And then once we get it set up on Al and connected to hers, she can just carry around 1 meter.
Yeah.
Instead of the 2 meters.
The 2 little things. But now we still like the Dexcom because it helps us keep, when her sugar drops below a certain level, it is going off saying, y'all go check her right now. And her pump is the same way. If there is any issue, it starts going off saying, y'all go check her right now. So it's, to me, they're both like a security a little bit. Like when she's in there and she's asleep, her sugar falls. She's not in there laying hoping we get up. We're going to know. So the Dexcom and all that it's an amazing thing. It's just the people that's working it, I'm sure they've got more people than they can keep up with. So it's like everywhere else in the world, they're stretching people so thin, and we'll get all that straightened out because eventually we'll get to where her Dexcom and her pump will talk together, and it'll notice, you know, hey, her sugar it's expected to go high, so it can raise her insulin a little bit. And let's see, what they don't tell you is the manufacturer is that 20% difference is okay. Yeah.
That's what I was asking them. But then
apparently the insulin pump itself is smarter than the Dexcom, and it is in its figuration that, you know, the 20% difference, you know, typically if we see an abnormal high or an abnormal low, we're doing
because we usually
check.
Just use it as it's fitting the drop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead, check it.
Yes.
It's just as an alarm.
Yes. But like I said, eventually they're going to talk to each other, and it will say, hey, her sugar's projected to go below her target range. Let's turn the pump off. or hey, her sugar's going way above it. Let's increase it just a little bit to help bring her. But like I said, right now we've always had trouble with the Dexcom, not the equipment, but all the apps and everything that goes with it. We've never been able to use any of it. So, but I still think the Dexcom itself is still so helpful though, where she doesn't have to check her finger all the time. But it's still a good thing anyway, you know. But and yes, Janice said that the diabetes isn't going to damage her organs, which, I mean, could still, but it's going to be a lot less chance. But hey, Paranormal Nut, it's so good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming.
But I know sometimes what we give y'all is look, they're like, man, they're like, this ain't interesting talking about the Dexcom, but it's just our live and we're sharing it.
And we're just waiting for people to come in.
Yeah. And,
but thank everybody for all the support. We're going to get back on topic.
Yeah, we will. Before we do that, I want to bring up a new book that I found. It says, just give her a good kiss. We'll do that. We always do. But I was in, of course, you know, when we take her to Birmingham to these appointments, we pretty much either go super early so we can film cemeteries, which y'all saw that Saturday. Whenever you dropped that last video, that was one of the videos that we shot. Well, sometimes... No.
Oh, sorry about that, y'all.
Sometimes we always stop in Books A Million just to check it out and kind of, see what kind of material is there that we can get into. And I found a book there, and I came home, and rather than paying Books A Million price, I went on to thriftbooks.com and looked it up, and I got this thing free shipping and cheaper. It's the BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural 101 True Tales of Hauntings, Demons, and the Paranormal. And it goes into different locations, and it tells the history and some of the hauntings and different things. So, with the cryptids, we may break it up by digging into some locations. This one, I just opened it up, and it says The Haunted Halls of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. And it gives like a whole, 2 pages of the stories, and it tells, some of the experiences people have. And like I said, there's 101 of those, and that is by the Watchers people. Yep. I think the Watchers are the one that also do the Spirit Talker. They're partners with our friend that did the Spirit Talker app. So, yep. So we have that to add in with cryptids. So we may, kind of dive into that so that we're kind of breaking up the content from just cryptids, and then we can throw in some locations, and not sure when we'll start that. Who knows? But again, this week's story is about the Hopkinsville Goblin. So let's dive into that right quick. But says the Hopkinsville Goblin is a legend based on a series of events that occurred August 1959 between Kelly and Hopkinsville, Kentucky. The story involves a family and their neighbors claiming to have been terrorized by small goblin-like creatures that appeared to be from another world. often linked to UFO sightings and extraterrestrial theories. The encounter also viewed skeptically as misidentifying of natural phenomenon. But the encounter says the Sutton family and several neighbors reported seeing strange, small, human-like creatures described as green little men, or goblins as we come to know it. The creatures were said to be wearing metal armor and had long fingers with sharp claws. Witnesses claimed to see a UFO or flying saucer landing in their yard, preceded by the appearance of the strange creatures. The encounters were said to have lasted for several hours. The family fled to the local police station in the state of absolute terror. The incidents received national attention, sparking interest in the UFO and alien encounters. Skeptics argue that the witnesses are likely mistaken, perhaps for seeing owls or other natural phenomenon, or that the reports were just exaggerated due to excitement or psychological factors. The Hopkinsville legend has been embraced by cryptozoologists and paranormal enthusiasts alike. The story has inspired various forms of media, including the film Critters and the Pokemon, how do you say that? Sableye? Sableye?
Something like that.
The event remains a topic of discussion and debate amongst UFOologists and skeptics. Now let's get into some of the details of the story itself. It said that Elmer Sutton and Billy Ray Taylor met while working on the carnival circuit. When Taylor and his family visited Sutton at his family farm, August the 21st, 1955, somewhere between Hopkinsville and Kelly, Kentucky, they were ready to hang out and play some good old card games. Instead, they went through a night of weirdness that no career in the carnival could ever prepare them for. The event has come to be known the Kelly Hopkinsville Encounter, and is more a chapter of UFOlogy than cryptozoology. It even popularized the term little green men. The Kelly Hopkinsville encounter wasn't so much an encounter as it was for a battle. On the summer night, about a dozen people were at the farm. 7 of those were children. Taylor went out to the well after dark to get water and witnessed a round metallic object in the sky. He went back inside the house and told everyone what he had seen, but not a soul believed him. That is, until a monster appeared in the darkness at the front door. It was short, between 3 and 4 feet tall, with large yellow eyes that were about 6 inches apart, with tall, sharp ears. Its arms were overly long and clawed. Its skin seemed to glow with a silvery hue. Taylor grabbed a gun and made first contact with deadly end, but the silver goblin merely floated away. Stepping outside to make sense of the situation, Taylor was immediately accosted with a pair of claws. extending from the roof. Someone grabbed Taylor and pulled him inside. One of the family members shot at whatever these creatures were. The creatures kept coming up to 15 of them, and the besieged carnival workers and their families barricaded themselves inside the house for an old-fashioned shootout. The creatures scrabbled at the windows and perched in trees and clattered about the roof while the families continued to take shots. Whenever it seemed like they had hit one of the creatures, the goblin would simply float away. After 4 hours of this horror, the Taylors and the Suttons made a mad dash to their cars and drove to the Hopkinsville Police Department to tell the story of these silver men. The police came out along with some investigators from nearby Fort Campbell Army Base, but they didn't ever find even so much as a trail of glowing blood. Instead, they found the farm had been shot to pieces by terrestrial bullets. Authorities soon left, and the Taylors and Sutton tried to at least get a few hours of sleep after their night terror. But then, around 3 o'clock, the creatures returned. That standoff, which was more a vigil than a battle, lasted until daybreak, when the nightmare finally ended, or was replaced by another one. The next day, the property was crawling with tourists and investigators. Many in the town found the story funny and started joking that the farm had been a victim of monkeys from a passing circus. Others heckled the cops who had investigated the night before. And they asked, "Seen any little men lately?" Newspapers across the country picked up the story and the description of the goblins. Telephones came in to the little green men. A phrase that up to this point had only been used in science fiction. Less than 2 weeks later, the Suttons moved away because they were annoyed and frustrated by the ridicule. According to Sutton's daughter Geraldine, her father harbored a lot of anger and resentment at not being believed. He even regretted going to the police station that night. But what Sutton wouldn't live to see that might have made him a little bit better was the Little Green Men Days Festival. In 2010, Kelly kicked off an annual commemoration of that night of terror, drawing tourists to the town with alien-themed costume, contests, rides, and games. Eventually, an annual festival wasn't enough for the residents. To memorize the incidents year-round, they elected a flying saucer at Kelly Station Park, a location that's only a quarter mile from the site of the original attack. That way, nobody will ever forget the first intergalactic battle in the history of our planet. How crazy is that? You imagine going outside just to see a spaceship and then it lands.
And this is what they said they look like.
Mm-hmm. That's a drawing of a sketch of what they did look like. But
Do you believe it? Some people
Is that
criticized and said they was just owls protecting.
I finally figured out something.
What?
You might be part Hopkinsville horror because you're between 3 and 4 feet tall.
But what do y'all think? And some people said they was dropped, but the investigators, what I read, said there was no sign of them being drunk. But why didn't they hit anything? Why wasn't they something?
You would figure that something with those claws would leave claw marks or something, but
who knows?
They'd have to be on some mighty powerful drugs to just make
but
that
the kids,
up.
One of the kids remembered from back then told the story too. I watched.
Yeah.
And drew some of these pictures.
The youngest one that said that was telling that her dad harbored the anger. She wasn't even born at the time, but she was just telling.
And then the green, they never said no. They called them goblins, and the green just came up in the news, and now they call them the green little guys.
Because they were silver with yellow eyes, had the metallic color, and really long arms and fingernails. I mean,
so they never came up as aliens into the newspaper.
But I wonder, when they shot and killed them, what made them fly off? How did they just floated away? I've never heard. Some floated,
some ran into the woods. Of my stories, research. So who knows?
You would think that
there be a trace or something.
All the bullet holes were from inside out, is what they were saying.
But they ran off. They cleaned it up. The goblins did whatever magic or whatever they used and cleaned up. Like they was never there. They could.
Where's Polly at?
He's in bed.
Why is he whining?
Just a bird.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, if he's whining, I need to go check because he got a seizure disorder from his grandmother, so. But he don't have them often. But anywho, that was very interesting. Very neat little tale. The Hopkinsville Goblin. Now, where do they get goblin from? Because they never said anything about goblin. They're like aliens. And of course, this is the first kind of alien thing that we've ever really mentioned on this channel.
No, the family said there's goblins, and then they brought up aliens.
Oh, okay. But there's always going to be people who believe and people who don't. But let me ask you this. How in the world would you ever mistake an owl for something like this? If you shoot an owl, it's not just going to float away. It's going to fall to the ground.
And then somebody, it's got to be rare. The owls was protecting. And then the alien shit was just a meteor shower. Yeah. And then there was the light that landed. They said it landed. Oh, that was just some random foxfire light that happens in grass. Like all these random events happen.
Yeah, it would have to be so many different coincidences that
you be careful.
Be safe. But yeah, there would have to be so many coincidences happen at one time.
And then these people like 10, 20 years later say, oh, yeah, they was all drunk. You wasn't there.
And Mr. Taylor that shared the story, that is so often the reason why people do not share their encounters. Because people ridicule them. They tell them that they're lying. They're crazy. They're psychos. They just experienced something that never happened. They made it up to be popular. They wanted to be famous. But here on this channel, And on the other one, we don't do that. If you have a story, we're here to listen. We don't tell you that you're lying or you're making it up, or sometimes it may be able to actually be really explained away, but we're not ever going to tell somebody that they're crazy or that it didn't happen. Or we always try, tell your story and we'll believe it, and it's a place where, you can share it and nobody will make fun of you. And if they are, we know how to handle that. They get booted and not allowed back in here. And that's just how we do things around here. Yeah. A place where you can feel free to share your experiences. And most everybody here are very respectful. And maybe if they don't believe the same way that you do, they just, I'm crazy and people leave me alone. That's great. We don't all believe the same way. We just take what we want from it and leave the rest. That's just the best way to put it. We don't argue this or that. We respect each other and listen to each other's stories. And
we can't say it didn't happen because we wasn't there.
Yes.
We didn't see it.
People go through so many different things, and nobody will ever know what it's like.
Well, I went through a lot of crazy stuff. Nobody was there. They probably won't believe it, but it happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Been through some very interesting things, that's for sure. So, now for the surprise. This Wednesday night just so happens to be the night of
the strawberry
moon again. So we are going to try our best, with weather permitting and things working out. We are going to go live and do a live investigation at a cemetery. Now, where at? Don't know exactly. Have a few places in mind.
But so far, it says the weather's clear.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to do a live investigation with all of the equipment. It's going to be good. Love that strawberry moon. It's going to be full, and that'll make for some really awesome video, hopefully. And we'll see what the spirits have to say, and we'll dig out the necrophonic, necrometer. We'll do the SB7 spirit talker, the REM pod. We have the digital voice recorder right here now. What time? Probably it'll have to be dark. So
it's going to be dark. Well, you're going to do what we usually do. Just go out there, talk to them first, might film a little, and then go live.
Yeah, so it'll probably be around 8-ish, I guess. We'll probably get there about 30 minutes or an hour ahead of time, maybe shoot a video. And it's not to be clear in Arkansas. We got more storms coming in. Yeah, it says we have a 0% chance of rain because the storms are going up and below. But if everything works out and it's not raining and everything, we're going to try our best to go do a live stream in the cemetery. I like to go back to the last one that we did on the strawberry moon. But yeah. 9 years. That's 8 o'clock Central Standard. So you'll see it go. We'll see us when we go live. But either way, it's going to be fun. We'll have a good time doing it. Probably 30 minutes or an hour or so, just seeing what we can dig up.
As long as they want us.
Hi there. Good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Last time they asked us to leave and we left.
Yeah. It was pretty cool though. We got to see like a phantom lantern go throughout the cemetery, and that was cool. That was so cool. We went live one time at night for our 2 years or whatever, and you could literally hear like soldiers running through the brush. Like it was all around us. We shined a flashlight, you could see nobody, but it was so clear. it sounded like heavy foot running through the woods. We never once seen anything. That was so cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can get into. I know this last week we filmed 3 or 4 places. Y'all saw the first one, which I don't know which one. Was that the one on the side of the road? Which one did you put out Saturday?
Don't put one out Saturday.
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday, I put out the one on the side of the road.
Yes, we filmed.
Friday, I forgot.
We filmed at a location where an assassination happened in 1963. We had actually discovered the location
on the way home.
On the way down to Hope's first deployment with her insulin pump. There's a lot of construction. So on the way back, we took the little back roads and came back, and I drove past that, and I was like, okay, I need to look this up. And I marked some locations and stuff, and we was going to go to one church, but they was doing some yard, cleaning and stuff, so we didn't go there. But then we found this location on the side of the road, and it was good. We had some really awesome responses and beautiful scenery out in the valley. You could see the mountains all the way around. I mean, it was really good. Then we got a humongous cemetery exploration walking chat video coming up. And then we also have 2 historic places that we stopped at. A little short video of a Civil War memorial garden, and then a location of a really old 1940 steam train. We went and saw that, and that'll be coming up. And there were some videos that we filmed the last time we were out that we still had to come up too, don't we?
Yeah, we got to put some screen covers on.
Yeah, we still have plenty of videos coming, locations. We don't get to film as often as we used to because of course, right now it's the rain and the gardening and then doctor's appointments and everything going on all at one time. But when we do get to go, we film 4, 5, 6 at a time and get them together for y'all. So it's still fun. We still enjoy it, that's for sure. But looking forward to that coming up Wednesday. Hopefully that's going to be awesome. Really cool, in-depth little investigation, and hopefully with that strawberry moon, maybe we'll get some really cool stuff. So got that to look forward to. And we appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out, listening to the legend of the Hopkinsville Goblins. And like I said, we got the new book that we can start dipping into soon. We got the investigation videos. We just got a lot coming up. So hopefully y'all enjoy that. Again, I want to say a special thank you to Janet Nolan for her awesome donation. She donated to Cash App twice to help fund Hope's little doctor's appointment. She's like, let me buy lunch, We appreciate that. She did not have to do that, but we were ever so grateful for that. All that helps. Appreciate it. Thank y'all to the channel members and the ghost nerds and the family, and just y'all are awesome. You can't beat you guys. So I guess until next Monday.
Yeah.
Well, next Wednesday when we do the live.
Well, this Wednesday.
This Wednesday coming up. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.